Callan, here I am eating lunch, and your boy Abhinav reached out to me and said, "You need some help. I got a couple minutes. I'll do. We'll do this. What I'll say is, if you still need help after this, check out my top mate, book a call, whatever it may be. But I'm gonna try and make this like the most information-packed 5 minutes ever, right? So let's kind of go through this together. You posted this post. Been 2.5 years of job searching. I've been able to. You've been pretty glib. Your wife works in mental health. She makes more money, et cetera, et cetera. Nothing wrong with that. Anyway, so here's my overly honest CV begging post. I'm bad definition entry level web dev, yada, yada, yada. That doesn't matter. I use AI too much. Well, you already identified a problem, so you got to fix that, right? I hyper focus on things that don't matter. You again identified another problem, so fix it. But I can fix my problems today. I love it. I haven't even read the post. I just saw the message from Abhinav and I opened this up and I decided to record whatever it is I'm doing to kind of help out. I'll relocate. You don't need to worry about that. Just turn 39. That's fine. Now, when I just glanced as I was opening these tabs, I saw a lot wrong, right? And to me, it's very obvious. You've been learning the code for 2.5 years, right? That's a long period of time. When someone tells me they've been learning code for 6 months, my mind initially thinks of them at a certain level. Over 2 years, my mind thinks of you at a completely different level, right? And so now when we say 2 years, 2.5 years, we have to be very serious in saying, what is the quality of those 2.5 years? Was it a strong quality years or not? Let's find out together, right? So let's check out your profile. 100 devs. I think this is fine. It's very plain, but it's fine. I would like more, but let's continue. You're about me way too long, dude. You got to cut this down significantly. I'm here because I want to help you. I'm not about to read all that. So if I'm not going to read that, how's a recruiter going to want to read all that, right? It's not going to work out. You're a software engineer, 100 devs. Everyone at this point knows 100 devs is a boot camp, right? So you need to really think about how you're displaying this. It worked well when 100 devs was a very small thing. Now that the whole world kind of knows what 100 devs is and it's very popular, this doesn't work the way that it used to work. Your about me is honestly not set up in the right way that I think. You really need to think about it in terms of like how it sells you to the role that you're going for. You have passion. Everyone has passions. People say motivated. I'm sure everybody's motivated when they don't have a check. These aren't words that you want to use to describe your skill set as far as I'm concerned. To give you an idea about this, let's check out the fake profile that I made on my LinkedIn Learning course, right? So obviously you can instantly see a very distinct difference with this profile versus like your profile, right? Why does all these pop? Very distinct difference if we hold them side by side, right? We can see a big variety of color and difference and organization. You need to be thinking about that. But now look at the about me. Detail-oriented software developer, developing modern solutions with a customer-first approach, using React and TypeScript to create front ends that enhance the customer experience while also prioritizing the needs of the business using Java on the back end. Do we see anything in similarity form like this? Now, I'm sure you've watched something that I've done. I don't know if you know me or not. In case you don't, I'm Danny Thompson. But there's something here that you're following a pattern that I normally recommend. So like we see obviously something there, right? So I don't know if you watch my stuff or not, but if you haven't, I highly recommend checking it out. But the other thing is this is very dark, glib, but also look at the differences between this as links, which I always say don't make them links, versus these as posts, right? And there's a very distinct difference for this and reason for this. When you give me a link and I click on it, I'm now redirected to your post. I'm no longer on your profile anymore. So if I don't like this, what do you think my first action is? It's this. It's not this. And so you got to think about that. You're losing them in that redirection. There's so much going on here. There's a lot that needs to be fixed. But let's kind of go ahead now and check out your stuff here. Software engineer for 100 devs. All right, delivered recipe storing, sharing social media web app using Node.js. Why? What did it do? Why did you develop it? What was the purpose of this? Why did you deliver it? Collaborates with teams of developers to build modern. Why? What did you do in that collaboration? Develop semantically structured. Okay, that's cool, but what did you develop with it? What did you do with it? Review code. That's a basic part of the job. I would expect anybody in a development position to review code. That's a basic job duty. The example that I give here, right? And here, perfect. I did this as a cashier, right? What are the things that we think of immediately as a cashier? You rang up customers, you bagged groceries, you gave people the receipt, you dealt with angry customers, right? That's what I assume to be part of the role, right? Naturally. Well, the angry customer, probably not. But the other three for sure. This is what I wrote for a cashier position on this. Increased overall impulse purchase buying at the point of sale by taking data-driven approach to re-merchandising products based on the frequency of purchases. When I think of a developer or a software engineer, I think that they review code as part of their role. Telling someone you reviewed code, doing a very basic part of their role, that should not be your bullet point. Or here, for example, reduce spoilage of products by implementing a system for a rotation of products and checking expiration dates. Do you see the distinct difference between a basic duty of a role and your actual contribution within that role? You missed the mark completely as far as I'm concerned when it comes to this. Equity trader, self-employed, worked independently, learning the intricacies of the markets and the instruments in which I traded. You had this job for over 4 years. You were self-employed. You didn't say one thing that you did besides this. No, there's nothing. If I was trying to interview you for a role, right? Like I'm a director at an organization, I'm a hiring manager, but if I wanted to hire you for a role, what question could I even answer or ask you off of this? There's nothing there. Volunteer coordinator. Again, I manage a team of volunteers. You're missing the mark completely. There's nothing here. One other thing, you have your entire life to be detail oriented enough to see what's valuable here. Matter of fact, did you write detail oriented here? You have an eye for detail and you didn't notice this extra space. I noticed it almost immediately and it was driving me insane. You stuff like that, hiring managers see, recruiters see, they're noticing when you say, especially when you say you have an attention to detail and you miss very obvious details. It goes the wrong way for me in that regard. A lot of your LinkedIn profile still needs to be fixed up as far as I'm concerned. There's a lot that needs to happen there. But let's continue and digress, right? Let's go to your portfolio site. For me, when it comes to your portfolio, there's two types of portfolios. One that you showcase to try and get business, one that you showcase to employers. Your portfolio site, it's a portfolio site, right? What is proprietary or different about this compared to any other portfolio site that exists? Every other one that you see on YouTube and things like that, they all look like this. They all look like this. Their code works 60% of the time, every time. They said they could center a div. They did. I'm still shook. While it's fun and humorous for friends, you need to think about the audience that you're bringing to your portfolio site or your profiles. Are they going to be friendly like that? Or are they going to be at the type like, we're a business, we're professionals, we're solving business problems. And you said that these are testimonials about what people say about you. And none of them result in how effective you are as a business leader or as a problem solver. The other thing is, where does this tell me anything about who Catlin is? Nowhere. I don't know anything that you've done. I don't know your volunteer experience. I don't know about the times that you're at meetups, and I don't see any photos of you at a hackathon or an event. I don't see none of that. I see the absolute basic thing that I see everywhere else. You know how many portfolio sites I see on a regular basis that look exactly identical to this? The only difference is this, the name. That's the only difference. You need to differentiate yourself from everybody else. Now, here's the thing. I don't owe you the time to check out your projects. You need to create an incentive for me to check it out. A recipe application, that's a great project that I would build with the goal of trying to build and learn as I build it. That is not the type of application that I generally would want to walk into an interview with to showcase my skill set, right? You have to think about that. Who am I getting interviewed by? Interviews 3, 4, if you're finally getting to interview with developers who understand the complexities and the pain points and all this good stuff, right? Interview number 1, you are getting interviewed by a recruiter that doesn't understand the complexities and the pain points of trying to build this application, but they have a job description that they're trying to fill, and they have a list of requirements that they need in order to fill it, right? You have to. You have to take that very seriously and start thinking, how are you presenting yourself to that person? So many people are so focused on the technical interview that they forget how they're supposed to present themselves within the phone screening resume portion of that interview process. You are not showcasing yourself well at this current time for that recruiter. You're nothing of this here is coming across in that way. For example, Federation Field Guide. I don't know what that means. This app was built using this and showcases the use of CSS templates. But what does that do? At this point, just off of this description, I don't have a clue what this app does. Now I see this part here, Federation Field Guide to Aliens. Why would I show that to a company that I'm trying to get them to take me seriously, to showcase that I'm a developer with a very strong set of skills and I can deliver a solution to a problem and get paid for it? I can affect their bottom line in a positive light, so much so that they want to add me to their team. This doesn't showcase that. Cookies don't showcase that. So who are we trying to appeal to at this point? It can't be somebody from a hiring capacity. What are we doing right now? When we come to here, I don't really know anything about you. We go to skills. It just sends me to these buzzwords like technologies. You're taking up so much space with this, and you're taking up so much space with this that there's nothing of substance here. To counteract this, right? I'll just show you my site, right? My site obviously has different goals, but look at this. When we land here, you kind of see what I'm about. You can click on this, you'll see a video and all the good stuff. You scroll down, you see my important links, right? You see here how I was teaching in a classroom, proven track record, testimonial scrolling, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not saying yours needs to be like this, but look at just a quick glance of how much of my personality, my being, who I am, showcases in one little scroll versus what we see here. You're using an image, could be AI generated, could be a flat illustration that you took from somewhere. I don't know. The only thing that's really you on this page is the name here, because these applications are a dime a dozen. They're everywhere else, right? But none of them tell me the problem that you solved with it. You said share your recipes with the world. This app was built using the MERN stack. La da 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 da. I still don't know if you solved a problem with this. I just know that you're showing recipes. I feel like we're really missing the mark as far as being hireable from this position. Well, your resume is not here, so I don't know what your resume looks like, but I can just say, just going off of this alone, we're missing a lot. And for 2.5 years, I expect you to be at a very different level. Let's just look through your repo real fast because I haven't checked this out, right? Bubba's recipe. I mean, we updated this, what is that, 2 years ago? Over 2 years ago now. That's the thing that we're showcasing for our hiring managers and recruiters. And then I don't really see, where's the other one? Where's the Federation? Is it this Star Trek client? Maybe, I don't know. Star Wars Alien front end. Maybe it's that. Where's anything recently that we've built that we can show? The last real thing that you built was that. So, and you're saying React portfolio, we're building a portfolio. Where's a project within the last 2 years that you built? And I'm not saying, I won't assume that you didn't build it. Maybe you just didn't put it on GitHub for whatever reason, which I think is a big miss as well. Because if we're being real, I think that you're much larger than a green square. I can tell you, I've had this conversation twice now in the last in all of 2024 with two specific recruiters that both asked me my opinions on the squares, because they said, if I'm hiring a junior and I don't see activity, I don't know if they're active or not. I don't think that's the way it should be, but think about who's hiring you and what their perception may be. With that being said, if the last project, if I were to check out your GitHub and I see the last real project that you didn't fork, but that you uploaded on your own was 2 years ago, I would be very questioning and worried about what it is that you're bringing into the conversation and table. There's a lot that needs to happen here. And by the way, none of this was said maliciously with bad intent in a way to demean you or harm you or put you down. I'm very, very big on actionable, direct information. And to be completely honest with you, this is 15 minutes. I'm now doing this for 15 minutes on this call with you. I wouldn't be doing this if it's not coming from a genuine position of love. I hope this gives you the information that you need in order to start making some real steps. What I really want you to do is over the course of the next 6 months, be very serious with yourself. Start taking this very seriously. I need you to build at least, at the very least, one project that is solving a problem, it's delivering a solution, and it's allowing you to talk about that solution from a technical capacity. I would love it if you were to be able to make a blog article with this as well to showcase why you believe that solution to be accurate and why you went across this way. That is what you would call a case study. And you can attach that case study to the project and really showcase your skill set. I really want you to revamp your portfolio. I want to learn more about you instead of all that. The other thing I really want to see, and I had this up before, I believe I changed it, unless it's in a different tab now. It looks like it is. Uh, I need you to start taking your actions on LinkedIn significantly more serious, because I definitely get that you're jaded, you're upset, things aren't going the way that you want, but people are going to look through this. And when they see some of the ways that you talk about like recruiters, they're lazy, they view us as not as assets, not people. Recruiters are ops. They're the ones that are deciding if you get these roles. You need to really think about that. Hopefully, this helps. I would say I want you to network with way more intention on LinkedIn. Right now, I don't see that. None of this showcases you networking in a way that would bring a role to you. It's all showcase networking in a way that I would joke around with my buddies that I'm not taking too seriously. You need to really think about how you're networking. And if you do it effectively, you do it directly, and you do it with intent, a lot of these results are going to end up going in an opposite direction. I hope that helps. Thank you, buddy. See you on the next one.